Hello and welcome to Kilkenny for our review of the action from another great edition of Ireland's international stage race for women, mBan. And what a week we had, with huge success from the Irish throughout the race, holding off tough opposition from the Dutch and British teams who were particularly strong in a week where the racing was some of the fastest we've ever seen on Irish roads.
I think this year will be a different kind of race with the new bonification sprints, but well, we'll see how it goes.
We had a good competition at the Olympics and it was an amazing experience and good to finish off a lot of work on a high. And I'm really looking forward to getting back on the road now and racing again and enjoying it as well.
So the 18th edition of mBan getting underway in Kilkenny as the riders head out of Hoban Hotel. 100 riders representing 22 teams. The 8th time the race has been in Kilkenny and the 5th time racing to Callan. 74 kilometres for the riders, just one Wicklow 200 Queen of the Mountains assault along the way. An intermediate sprint for bonus seconds set to spice up the action, and it was a pretty tasty start to the affair as well. Lots of attacking with fresh legs early on in the week. Ellen McDermott from Offaly involved in the early skirmishes, as indeed was Irish under-23 road race champion Caoimhe O'Brien from the Das Hutchinson squad, pushing hard to try and establish an early advantage. She had the Canadian Annabelle Thomas for company, and as they rose towards that first climb of the week at Curragon, it was the Das Hutchinson rider Lucy Lee just about managing to edge out last year's champion Manon de Boer to take the first mountain points of the week, and she would head into Orange ahead of day two. Behind, well, the attacks coming hot and heavy, and Lucy Benazet-Mins, fresh from her glorious success in the European Track Championships as a junior rider. She's a really hot prospect and the Team Ireland rider. Clear of the field for a little while before she was replaced on the front of the field by Frankie Hall of Das Hutchinson, Brother UK, Katie Hill in there as well for the Dan Morrissey squad. Frederica Ofelt from the Team Orlberg squad in Denmark, and rising to the line through on the first appearance at the finish line in Callan, and the bonus seconds taken at the intermediate sprint by Frankie Hall as she bossed the breakaway group, taking the bell the second time over the line, and the breakaway group having established an advantage of almost a minute at one stage. Looking good, but then concerted chase from behind. Team Ireland among the chasers. They closed down the group within the final 10 kilometres. Frankie Hall straight to the front of the group once more with the energy that she had left to try and set it up into the final bend. And Mia Griffin going for glory for a second successive year, leading through that final turn, and had the sprint legs to prevail once more for the second year in succession, taking the first stage of the race.
My goal was to come into that last corner fast and then just sprint to the line as hard as I could. So from the start of the race, the goal was to be as active as possible, and for a good bit of the race, Lucy and Frankie were quite active and doing quite a lot of attacks. For quite some time, Frankie was up the road and we thought that she was going to stay away, so we were trying to kind of slow things down a little bit in the bunch, but in the end then it came back together, and then we got 1, 2, 3 on the podium, and yeah, I think that's pretty sweet today. Really happy with that.
Mia Griffin leading a remarkable Das Hutchinson 1, 2, 3 ahead of teammates Robin Clay and Caoimhe O'Brien. Fortin, Aoife O'Brien, Iris Mulder also in the top 6, and Mia Griffin leading overall. She also leads on points. Lucy Lee at the head of the mountains classification. Robin Clay also going well as young rider.
I think, yeah, just ride the hill hard. I'm going to try protect myself a little bit coming into it, and then yeah, be ready to go, and then yeah, once we come over the top of it, hopefully it'll be a reduced bunch, and then yeah, try sneak away and get some those bonus seconds into the intermediate sprint and make up some time, I think. So yeah, we can be in a better position leading into the rest of the race.
The riders rolled out of Laois County Council in Portlaoise on the first of two consecutive 104 kilometre stages, and this one in the Slieve Blooms, heading to the cut, the longest and toughest and most demanding climb of the week in the Slieve Bloom Mountains. And once again the battle was joined on the lower slopes and indeed all the way to the top by Manon de Boer and Lucy Lee in orange, the Wicklow 200 Queen of the Mountains leader against the Dutch champion, as the selection is made at the front of the field. Lots of riders out the back at this point as they launched through towards the 8% slopes at the finish of the cut climb. And de Boer putting it up to Lucy Lee. Great battle between those. Would become a match race for the Mountains title, that one. Going to the photo and going to Lucy Lee as she extended her advantage. Her teammate Robin Clay on the front of the bunch as they made the descent off the cut and heading towards the first of two times over the finish line at Mount Rath. Safely in the group, the magenta jersey leader, race leader Mia Griffin, looking good, and it was Manon de Boer that took the intermediate sprint and the 3 bonus seconds that went with it ahead of the O'Brien sisters. Caoimhe and Aoife racing on different teams and racing on the same team. It was Lucy Lee making plans for the finish line with Mia Griffin, riding shotgun behind young rider leader Robin Clay. Manon de Boer also had teammate Wendy Oosterwood in there as well to try and conjure up something for what was a select group of 23 riders to contest the second stage of the week. Long day out, but it came down to the small group sprint and a blanket finish with the Das Hutchinson Brother UK squad once again to the fore. Race leader Mia Griffin on the right hand side of the road, and Caoimhe O'Brien, her teammate, just about edging that one by the narrowest of margins.
Oh yeah, it's so special. Like, I remember being here 4 years ago and getting dropped on every single stage. The gap to where I wanted to be was so big, and so to be here is very special. I think things have started clicking the last little while, and learning from mistakes and stuff, and just, I suppose, having confidence in myself has been the biggest thing that's I suppose made these wins possible. Like the level of Irish women in cycling at the minute, which is like kind of amazing to think that it was 1-2 for me and Mia, and then yeah, doing a 1-2-3 yesterday as well. It's really good for the team.
So a first Rostamon stage success for Westmeath's Caoimhe O'Brien ahead of teammate Griffin, Abigail Miller, Manon de Boer, Robin Clay and Nor Decker. And overall lead retained by Mia Griffin, as well as the points in the best Irish rider Lucy Lee leading the Mountains, and Caoimhe O'Brien moving into the young rider classification lead.
The overall route is quite interesting today. The winds will probably play a bit of a role in the how the race is run today, but yeah, I'm expecting the competition is still quite wide open, so I'm expecting a real fight to the top of both of the climbs.
There are still points to get for me, so there's still possibility to get it. I think it will be a hard battle. The other Lucy is very strong, so we'll see how it goes.
Day 3 and a newly minted stage for the riders as they made their way over 104 kilometres once again from Kilkenny to Gorey in County Wexford. First visit for the race to the county of Wexford. 2 Queen of the Mountains assaults along the way, 1 intermediate sprint offering bonus seconds, and the Wicklow 200 Mountains leader Lucy Lee just dropping back in the early stages to pace her teammate Robin Clay back to the bunch after a crash delay for the points jersey wearer. But Clay, from a famous racing family in Great Britain, safely back in time for the all-important intermediate sprint with her teammate and overall race leader Mia Griffin, scoring once again, taking 3 vital bonus seconds ahead of the O'Brien sisters. Aoife racing with Team Ireland, Caoimhe with the Das Hutchinson squad, as Annabelle Thomas from the Primo Velo Group Aberdeen squad from Canada went foraging and was chased down by the Team Olberg Sparkassen Denmark squad as we rose to the line. The first of our Queen of the Mountains assault, de Boer, clearly with good climbing legs, leading Lee across the top. And after the hill, Frankie Hall of the Das Hutchinson Brother UK squad racing clear in the company of Jasmine Laverne, the other Canadian with the Primo Velo Group squad. And and they would contest the second climb of the day at Ballymore, 1 kilometre, safely and easily dealt with by Hall and Laverne, who were towed back into the welcome embrace of a much reduced group of about 40 riders, getting set to contest the finish into Gorey, with Lucy Lee trying to organise the lead out for the Das Hutchinson squad as they gun for the line, going for a remarkable third victory of the week for the squad and a second victory in 3 days for Mia Griffin of Kilkenny, taking the victory in Wexford.
Yeah, so it was a good day. So coming into it, I was kind of thinking about that climb, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to be hard. We kind of had a plan maybe to like attack over the QOM with Quiva and Frankie. Frankie got away anyway. In the end, it did come back, and then we were just all in for the sprint to try and keep me and Quiva up as far on the GC as we can. Lucy did a really good job, and Robin with the lead out, so we were kind of locked in and ready for the sprint.
4 stage victories in 2 years for Mia Griffin, who led in Heidi France of the US, the Netherlands Noor Dekker, Aoife O'Brien, Maureen Lennon and Caoimhe O'Brien scoring well for Ireland. No change in the jersey classification as all of the jerseys retained, but Mia Griffin now the 12-second advantage at the top.
After the break, we'll see how the riders got on in the hilly stage to the rower and the race deciding final 2 stages in Kilkenny City. Welcome back to the highlights of mBan 2024. Mia Griffin held the lead approaching day 4 when the riders faced into 2 big climbs, the Rower and Coppanaugh.
What we got our eye on is to get the Irish winner. So we've got Mia in first and Caoimhe in second place. But like I say, the seconds behind isn't much, and we've got a lot of people in attention. So the big goal is a team win, and the focus is to get an Irish win.
The penultimate day of racing featured just over 100 kilometres of riding from Kilkenny to the Rower via some of the prettiest roads in South Kilkenny, twice up the tough finishing climb at the Rower, sandwiching the intermediate sprint at Ballyvalley. A difficult ascent, plenty of attacks in the early stages, and another fast day, including an ambitious effort from Chloe Move of Monarch Racing. That would ultimately be reeled in by the first climb of the day up to the Rower. The riders made plans for scoring more points, and the match race has developed all week between Lucy Lee in the orange climber's jersey and the Dutch champion and reigning champion of the event, Manon de Boer, clearly displaying good legs as she put some daylight between herself and Lucy Lee for the first time in their epic match race for that mountains title. First opportunity to see the finishing hill before the riders race down, flashing through Inistioge and going towards the intermediate sprint at Ballyvalley. 40 kilometres to go as Grace Reynolds from On Form Brother UK took the bonus seconds ahead of Frederica Ofelt and Caoimhe O'Brien, keeping things ticking over nicely. Meanwhile, her teammate and overall race leader Mia Griffin nestled in the main bunch, chaperoned by her teammate Frankie Hall, as she was for much of the race. De Boer started the day 8th overall at 26 seconds, targeting the mountains title. And up onto the Coppanaugh Category 2 climb. Once again, Manon de Boer showing her mettle, showing her strength on a tough climbing day. Lucy Lee once again vanquished, and de Boer into the lead of the mountains competition with just the finishing climb up to the Rower to decide that mountains title on the 4th day of racing. The lead group established after the hill, and Robin Clay deep in conflab with Mia Griffin to decide how things were going to play out. The Irish team also trying to get involved as well. Lucy Benazet-Mins, Abigail Miller up the road with her, Tofati, everyone active. Then Betty Hasse from CCB, US rider, under 23 national time trial champion. That one hauled back by the Dan Morrissey squad, trying to set it up for Maureen Lenihan. But into the closing metres, Manon de Boer, the reigning champion, once again showing her great climbing strength as she took the fourth stage. A clenched fist, delighted celebration. And overall race leader Mia Griffin crossed the line in 17th place. A couple of splits in the peloton, a few seconds leaked, but still in the magenta jersey.
First I was focused on the QM on the hills, and it felt really good uphill, so I knew there would be a chance for me today on this finish line uphill. So I needed to focus on my position on the last climb, and it went very well, and I saw the line and I thought go, 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 and I looked back and there was no one there yet, so I'm so happy to take the win today.
So a first stage victory of the week for Manon de Boer moves her back into general classification contention. Heidi France second for the second day in succession, ahead of Maureen Lenihan, Jasmine Laverne, Lucy Lee and Robin Clay. And the general classification retained by Mia Griffin, along with the points and best Irish rider. And Manon de Boer has done enough to secure the mountains title. So to day 5 and the shortest stage of the week, and potentially the most challenging. Conditions were dry for the technical 2.5 kilometre time trial around the perimeter of Kilkenny Castle. Into the final 20 riders, Ruby Oakes from Shibden Apex Road Team set a challenging target of 3 minutes 35.8 seconds, but that was soon eclipsed by a sensational effort from Noor Dekker of Jeg Academy. The Dutch rider setting a new course record, a full 7.5 seconds faster than Oakes. A fine effort from Maureen Lenihan of Dan Morrissey, Primo by Pisai, moved her to second, but all eyes were on the final 3 riders as the battle for the final general classification loomed into view. Reigning champion and Dutch TT specialist Manon de Boer was just 1.2 seconds slower than Dekker, with a time faster than she managed in winning stage 5 12 months ago. But would it be enough to unseat Mia Griffin from top spot overall? Caoimhe O'Brien was 14 seconds slower than Dekker, the Westmeath rider slipping off the podium as a result. Her teammate and fellow Irish international Mia Griffin was last into action, the Olympic team pursuit star hoping her track speed would keep her in the magenta jersey ahead of the final stage. Scorching around the short anti-clockwise circuit, Griffin stopped the clocks in 3 minutes 29.63 seconds, third fastest on the stage, and, to her considerable relief, just a second slower than de Boer. The magenta jersey was retained by the Kilkenny woman once again. And it was joy unbound for Dekker, 12th in the time trial last year and now a stage winner in Roscommon.
I want to ride as fast as possible because the whole day my team worked so hard for me to get in the top 10, and then I was like, well, this is the only thing I can do to thank them. It's like ride as hard as I can, and it's like, okay, go fast, go arrow, push, 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 and all my teammates were up there and pushing me to the finish line.
So breakout success for Noor Dekker as she leads a Dutch 1-2. Mia Griffin's third place, good enough to keep her in the magenta jersey. Great performances from Maureen Lenihan, Robin Clay and Lucy Lee. Mia Griffin now with an 11-second advantage at the top, with Manon de Boer now in second and Noor Dekker up onto the podium in third. So to the final stage, the popular and familiar city centre circuit race, the Criterium, on the 2.5 kilometre triangle circuit based in and around Kilkenny Castle. That final bend always absolutely critical to the riders, with Mia Griffin controlling that 11-second advantage from de Boer. Dekker now third at 23 seconds, and in the early stages, Katie Hill venturing fourth for the Dan Morrissey squad. A speculative attack soon closed down by Robin Clay of the Das Hutchinson squad. 2 preems along the way, as well as the intermediate sprint, and the first of those preems claimed by Anya Doherty of the Ireland team, as her teammate Lucy Benazet Mins then taking an opportunity to go solo. The time trial superstar, fourth in last year's Junior World Championships, gets up to take the intermediate sprint in the bonus seconds behind. Once again fought out by Caoimhe O'Brien and Aoife O'Brien. Caoimhe O'Brien taking the two on that occasion to a rubber stamper situation ahead of the under-23 race. Jasmine Laverne of the Primo Velo Group squad, the briefly solo before we then saw Isabel Hayes of the Shibden Apex road team taking the second bream along the way, and then persevering, pressing on. Team Ireland squad working hard to close that one down and to keep their riders in contention before Noor Decker launching third overall, just 23 seconds down in the Just Sprint.ie Stages jersey. And Lucy Lee spotting the danger down into the closing stages of this event, and Mia Griffin safely in the main peloton, but perhaps concerned about any late attacks as Annabelle Thomas of the Primo Velo Group squad, the Canadian, attacking once more. She once again joined by Noor Decker of the Jeg Academy. Emily Flynn of LA Sweat managing to get in there as well. Lucy Lee from the Das Hutchinson squad just sitting on, not contributing, defending the situation for her teammate Mia Griffin. This was an urgent situation. Potentially Mia Griffin could lose this one at the death. How much of an advantage would they gain as the pressure went on and Flynn became detached with 2 laps to go? Lucy Lee looking behind anxiously on a regular basis, not making any contribution to the pacemaking. Noor Decker, the strength of this group, she looked to try and increase an advantage of hovering around the 10 seconds mark to a fast-moving peloton behind. And the bunch just a matter of 10 seconds, no more, behind as they got the bell. With Mia Griffin well to the fore and close to the front of that group, working their way through the final 2.5 kilometre lap. And Noor Decker herself anxiously trying to see whether they would have enough in hand to at least go for stage honours on the day. Noor Decker going for a second successive stage victory. And down to the final bend. Well, would it be for Noor Decker? Would it be Annabelle Thomas? Would it indeed be for Lucy Lee defending the situation? The bonus seconds on the line, potentially critical as well. 10, 6 and 4 bonus seconds available for those first 3 riders. Mia Griffin close to the front of the bunch through the final bend, in the bunch behind, and it's her teammate Lucy Lee gets up for a 4th victory of the week for the Das Hutchinson squad. And Noor Decker vanquished on this occasion, and they had to wait. They counted down 11 seconds behind for Aoife O'Brien as she takes 4th across the line. And Mia Griffin safely in the main peloton to secure overall honours.
We had a main objective of keeping Mia's jersey, so it was all about marking moves from her nearest rivals. It came to the final sprint and I managed to outsprint Noor, but she put up a very good fight. I've been coming for 4 years now and it's my first stage win, so I'm very happy.
UCD got a trip to the podium, having secured the Best Irish Team Award for a 2nd successive year. Das Hutchinson Brother UK dominated the Best Team competition. Mia Griffin won the Kilkenny County Council Best Irish Rider Award. Her teammate Caoimhe O'Brien secured the Young Rider title. Manon de Boer, the Mountains winner once again, while Mia Griffin won the points jersey and the overall title, and with it the magenta jersey.
This jersey is a reflection of what we did as a team this week, and I'm really proud of what we could pull off. And for me it means so much just being from here as well. I was quite nervous for this crit because there was so much riding on it. It was hectic.
The final stage produced victory for Lucy Lee ahead of Noor Decker, Annabelle Thomas, Aoife O'Brien, Lucy Glover and Robin Clay, while the Das Hutchinson Brother UK squad dominated the jersey classifications with 3 for Mia Griffin, 1 for Caoimhe O'Brien, and Manon de Boer also celebrating.
Well done to Kilkenny native Mia Griffin for securing the first Irish win in 11 years in what has to be one of the most exciting and impressive performances from Irish challengers in Rosnaman. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Slán Tamil.